You have to be able to know the difference between choosing your own path and knowing when it's time to change paths. Knowing what womanhood looked like for you can play a huge role in your future. Welcome to She Self-Invested. I'm your host, Lodisha, and get ready to tune into your go-to podcast to feel empowered, to show up authentically feminine in male-dominated spaces, while prioritizing spiritual self-care. Let's invest into ourselves together, starting now. Hello, ladies. Welcome back to She Self-Invested. I'm your host, Lodisha, and I'm back with another empowering episode. Redefining Femininity. What does being a woman look like for you? Before we jump in, just a quick reminder to follow your favorite work bestie on Instagram at sheself_invested for updates and inspiring content to get you through the work week. Now, let's get into redefining femininity. Before we can redefine femininity, we must first discuss what it is. That's the thing with femininity. It is such a multifaceted concept that it can have several different meanings to different cultures, societies, and individuals. Hence, that's why it's important to be able to define what it means to you. Personally, for me, I grew up thinking that being a woman meant that I had to get married, have kids, and have a career that requires me to be a nurturer. I believe that being feminine was looking beautiful at all times, simply maintaining a desirable physical appearance. I realize now that having a beautiful physical appearance doesn't make me feminine. Having a beautiful spirit does. To me, being a woman is deeper than being a mom, a wife, and looking like a model every day. It's about being a kind person. That's it. Simply being kind to people. I believe it's about being a light in someone's darkness, giving someone hope that their situation is going to turn around, speaking positivity into those pursuing their dreams, simply just wishing well to others. It's taking care of my body when I'm healthy and when I'm sick. Being feminine is me receiving new career opportunities that challenge my skill set. I feel my femininity at its peak when I'm simply being, when I'm grateful for what God has blessed me with. Redefining femininity can help you elevate your personal and professional life. It can help give you clarity on the decisions that will affect your future. In season 1, episode 4, I talked about the power behind the unconventional woman. Within the episode, I mentioned how I almost followed the traditional path of what I thought a woman was. It's story time, lady. When I was around the age of 19, 20-ish, I had my first dose of womanhood. Back when I was in my damsel in distress era, I was working 2 jobs. I had just decided that I wanted to get back enrolled into college. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't have a car at the time. I believe I was trying to get one. I don't remember exactly where I was at with that. But anyways, so I started dating this guy. He was my first official real boyfriend. And we were discussing about how we wanted our lives to go, like what kind of future we expected. Of course, we talked about kids, we talked about marriage, and we talked about careers. And I realized his idea of a wife wasn't my idea of what a wife was. For example, he wanted me to stay at home, take care of the kids while he worked, like very traditional. And not only did he want that in the future, he was actually suggesting for me to move in with him so that he can take care of me so that I won't have to work 2 jobs, just complete hero energy. Okay. So then I thought about it and I'm just like, I don't think I'm ready to make that kind of decision at 19. Like, I haven't even finished college yet. I haven't lived for myself. I haven't even experienced having a car for more than, a year. So it's just like, there were so many personal goals I had for myself at the time that I didn't get to achieve. And I just didn't see me prospering with his idea of a wife. It came down to me deciding like what I truly wanted for myself and what my life looked like with or without a man. And to me, at that moment, my passion was graduating college. And it mainly was that because I'm someone, I truly did not care for high school. I didn't care for grades. I didn't care for school in general, which is very ironic. Mainly because of where I'm at in my life. It's very ironic. It's ironic because I don't believe in doing what I am told to do. I need to know why for everything. I've always been curious. I've always been a kind of person to do what I believe was best, not just because someone tells me to do something. Been a nonconformist. But the point is, just because I didn't exceed academically in high school or grade school doesn't mean that I didn't want that achievement through college. That doesn't mean that I didn't want to graduate college. So because I've always had that mindset of me walking across the stage, when he gave me the choice kind of like, well, you don't have to work, you can move out your parents' house and I'll take care of you. It's like, well, what do I have for me? I give up my dream of just graduating college, and mind you, I've had other goals after that, but that was my main focus. So it's like, give that up just to go be a man's wife and a mother. That was crazy to me. Like, it literally was. And I decided, no, I want to live for me. So, of course, we end up going our separate paths. Ironically, he ended up having the child he wanted, the relationship. He ended up doing what he thought was best for him, which was great. And I did what was best for me. And sometimes I ponder on that moment of when I was 19, and I think how different would my life be? If I would have taken a traditional route, I would have never had the experience of living on my own. I would have never had the experience of graduating college with a film degree, the degree that I was told that I wasn't going to achieve. I wouldn't have had the experience of moving to another state by myself. I wouldn't have had the experience of creating 2 different careers for myself within the same lane. I wouldn't have this podcast right now. I wouldn't have so much of my life if I would have decided to take the traditional route of what a woman is. That is why it is so important to be able to think for yourself. It is important to be able to make decisions for your future. Now, just because I decided at that time that I did not want to become a wife and a mother, that does not mean that I will not have those things. I can become a mom and a wife at any age. And being a mother doesn't always mean me having the kid naturally. There are so many mothers out there who adopted. They're still a mom. That does not take away from their womanhood or their motherhood. Or there are some women who decide they don't want kids. They prefer pets and animals. To me, they're still a mom. I'm a pet mom. I'm a pet parent. The point that I'm making is you have to figure out what being a woman looks like for you. You cannot just accept what was told to you. You cannot accept the conventional way of doing things. For example, one of my favorite TV shows right now on Netflix, shout out to Shondaland, Bridgerton. Bridgerton is the perfect example of women being told how to live. One of my favorite characters is Eloise, mainly because she's so defiant. She's like, I don't want to just be a wife and a mom. I want to travel. I want to explore. She likes to read books. She's a scholar. She loves to learn. She's intelligent. She's witty. She's one of the few characters who are trying to go down an unconventional path. But of course, in that time period, it was more challenging for women to just choose an occupation, to decide, oh, I don't want to get married, because of financial reasons and protective reasons. So in that era, that made sense for women to be that way. That's the thing. Like, I'm not 100% against being traditional at all. But I'm big on deciding what that looks like for you. I believe that a woman can be taken care of and provided for by a man, as well as being a career woman. I don't believe that you have to choose, because men do not have to choose if they're going to be a father or a man in business. He doesn't choose. He's all of the things. We can make those choices as individuals as well. We can. And I'm a prime example of that. That is why I'm also big on lifestyle design. I'm big on living life by your own terms, living life in a way that nourishes your spirit. I think we can underestimate the feeling of doing what you love, that feeling of happiness, completeness. I used to think that I wouldn't experience happiness until I achieved a goal. I was so hard on myself. And then I had to realize, why? Why am I taking life so seriously? If this is my life, why am I stressing myself out because I'm not where I think that I should be? Because, I'm not married with kids yet, and I'm almost at a certain age. Like, we have to realize we are on psychological time and spiritual time. Once you come to that conclusion, you realize that ultimately you're on God's time. Things will happen when they're meant to happen. I was at work one day and I randomly was just talking to this lady, and she was pregnant at 42. And I'm just like, what? It almost was like such a relief for her to even share that with me. Mainly because like I was pondering like, oh my God, I'm almost in my 30s and I haven't had kids. You know the scare. I mean, if you're not in your late 20s, you might not have this experience. Ladies, if you're still in your early 20s, live it up as always. Keep doing your thing. But if you are almost 30 and you're a woman who haven't had kids yet, but maybe you want to have kids, this message is specifically to you. So during the conversation with me and the expected mother, she told me, she's like, I never would have thought that I would have had kids. Like, it just never happened for me. And mind you, she's 42. She said the minute I met my now fiance, we were just like drawn to each other. And she just happened to get pregnant. She lived an unconventional life for a woman up to the age of 42. Then that was her time to become a wife, to become a mom. With that being said, you are literally on God's time. You have to be able to know the difference between choosing your own path and knowing when it's time to change paths. Knowing what womanhood looked like for you can play a huge role in your future. Like I mentioned in my story, I had the choice to become the mom and a wife like I always thought I wanted, right? I had that choice, but I chose myself. And I do not regret it one bit. And there is still time for me to have those feminine things. Those things that's going to make me a woman. And I hope that my story has empowered you ladies to make decisions for yourselves. Become the woman of your dreams, not of someone else's. Really sit and reflect on what does being a woman look like for you. I spoke a lot earlier about the traditional views of what a woman is and how a woman should look. But I want to touch on the modern and evolving traits of femininity. Modern views on femininity recognize that strength, resilience, and the ability to overcome challenges are also feminine qualities. Women and feminine individuals often display remarkable perseverance and courage in various aspects of life. For example, you ladies deciding that you're going to step into a male-dominated field. That takes strength. That takes resilience. That takes confidence. Knowing that you're going to have to overcome multiple challenges. But that does not make you any lesser of a woman. Leadership and ambition. For a very long time, those traits were only aligned with men. Now, those leadership capabilities are constantly being recognized as aspects of femininity. Women in leadership roles demonstrate that femininity and strong leadership are not mutually exclusive. Are not. There are so many female CEOs, so many female COOs, so many female presidents of companies. Like, leadership isn't just black and white. Strength and resilience isn't black and white. It comes down to your self-belief and the woman that you believe yourself to be. Another way that femininity have evolved is through authenticity and self-acceptance. A lot of women nowadays are doing the healing work, right? We are doing the trauma treatments where we're receiving professional help. We're journaling. We're becoming more spiritual and in tune with our bodies, with God. By doing this, we're embracing our one true self. And that includes all aspects of femininity. That helps lead us to greater self-acceptance and empowerment. Authentic femininity involves being true to oneself rather than conforming to societal expectations or stereotypes. Empathy and inclusivity. This is a big one mainly for me. This affects me mainly in my professional life because, ding, 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 is another one of my superpowers. I am literally the therapist at work. If I sense that someone is having a bad day, I need to know what's going on. Like, what is going on? Like, my empathy naturally shows up in the time of need. And just by simply asking someone, how are you doing? How's your day? Listening, right? Listening and not responding. Listening to understand. Just by taking time out to be there for someone else, that can help them feel valued. That can help them feel safe with you. And that is that feminine energy that I love about us women. Having empathy is such an inclusive approach, and the benefits of it is that it can help better teamwork and collaboration throughout your career. Finally, we have work-life balance. I'm going to split this up into two categories. The first one is prioritizing self-care. What does that mean? Recognizing the importance of self-care and work-life balance. This can include activities that nurture your well-being, such as exercises, hobbies, and spending time with loved ones. My spiritual self-care, aka hobby, is photo shoots. Like, I love taking pictures. I love theme photo shoots in particular. Ladies, you don't have to be a model to get behind a camera. Like, I am not a model. I am a woman who loves getting in tune with her sensual side. I'm a woman who loves building her confidence through taking photos. I'm a woman who loves seeing myself in different ways. I believe in being multifaceted. So photo shoots help me tune in more with my feminine energy, mainly because I work in a male-dominated field. It just feels nice to tap into my womanhood. Like, it's hard to explain, but it's a different kind of vibe. I highly suggest it. Lastly, set boundaries. Establish healthy boundaries to ensure you have time for both professional and personal growth. Communicate your needs clearly to maintain a balance that supports your overall well-being. This can come down to friendships, relationships, work. Like, if someone asks you, can you stay late? If it's going to tie into your personal life, set that boundary. Say, hey, no, unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. Or maybe it's a friend who wants to hang out with you, but you're working on a school project. hey, no, unfortunately, I'm unable to hang out. That's okay. Set the boundary. And if that person is genuinely your friend, they will respect it. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening episode of She's Self-Invested, where we explore the powerful and transformative concept of redefining femininity in both our personal and professional lives. Today, we delved into what it means to embrace and express femininity authentically. We discussed the importance of self-acceptance, allowing ourselves to be true to who we are without the constraints of traditional stereotypes. We highlighted the significance of expressing ourselves authentically in the workplace, leading with empathy and compassion, and fostering inclusive work environments. We also touched on the critical aspects of leaderships and professionalism, demonstrating that femininity encompasses strength, resilience, and ambition. I shared my personal journey of choosing my own path of womanhood at the age of 19, a pivotal moment when I decided to prioritize myself over conforming to traditional expectations. By choosing to follow the path that God handpicked for me, I embraced a version of femininity that felt true to my core. This journey has taught me the importance of living authentically and finding strength in my unique expression of womanhood. We also emphasize the need for work-life balance, recognizing that self-care and setting boundaries are essential for maintaining overall well-being. By integrating these principles, we can achieve personal growth and professional success while staying true to our authentic selves. As we conclude this episode, I encourage each of you to reflect on what femininity means to you and how you can embrace and express it authentically in your own lives, whether it's through your leadership style, your approach to work, or your personal choices. Remember that femininity is diverse and personal, and there is no right way to be a woman. Thank you for being a part of this important conversation. Stay tuned for more empowering discussions on She's Self-Invested, and don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on social media at She's Self_invested, and share your own stories and experiences within our community. Together, we can continue to redefine femininity and inspire each other to live authentically and powerfully. Until next time, stay self-invested and true to who you are.